What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer, and this is my review for T.I.'s 9th studio album, Paperwork. I'm not going to do a big ramble at the start of this, because I think we all know who T.I. is and what he's about, so let's just get right into it. This album opens up with the song King, which is a beautiful meshing of trap and soul, and features a really nice vocal sample on the hook. T.I. showcases a rapid-fire flow on here, and in his verses he addresses anyone who's thinking about threatening him or his throne. King is followed up by the track G Shit, which features Jeezy and is immediately recognized as a Pharrell beat because of the funky bass and the bells. Watch the Duck does the chorus on here, and he brings a really cool, old school, almost James Brown sort of sound on the hook. And as you expect from the lyrics, it's just on some G shit, because that's what the song is called. They take shots at people wearing skinny jeans, and there's lots of lines about bricks and choppers. Also, at the end of his verse, Jeezy gets at the people who question his relationship with Big Meech, including the coke-crazy Miami rapper Stitches, who recently took a shot at Jeezy on his song Facts. Next we have one of the lead singles, About the Money, featuring Young Thug. There's not too much to say about the lyrical content because it's just a getting money anthem, but I really like the production on here because London on the track brought some bass-heavy, organ key-driven production here. And I know a lot of people have a hate on for Young Thug for various reasons that I'm not even going to argue about or debate because I get it, but I don't mind him on this song. I thought he was alright. I mean, it's not like you expect him to be a lyrical genius, but he sounds okay, and the little bridge that he brought on here is cool. But it does make me laugh when he says lines like, smoking more weed than a guy in LA, and then he says something else about being with some itty-bitty shrimp dimps, whatever that means. I don't know. It's just Young Thug. Young Thug is gonna Young Thug. No Mediocre featuring Iggy Azalea is another one of the singles on here. And this is an anthem to the extra fine looking women. Now a lot of people out there have been making jokes about this song in regards to Iggy Azalea and T.I.'s wife Tiny being mediocre or worse, but I'm not about testing Tip because he's one of the few rappers who I think is really about his. So I'm just going to leave that alone, but you've probably heard the jokes already or could figure them out for yourself. This is a DJ Mustard production with some Caribbean bells that are a little bit reminiscent of 50 Cent's song P.I.M.P. The hook is catchy, and content-wise, it's just a sexual song that does its job, and will probably get some asses shaking, so it is what it is. There's nothing special about this, it's just a simple strip club or club anthem. T.I. has some other women and sex-related tracks on here. There's Private Show featuring Chris Brown, which is just a dedication to strip teases with a chilled out beat and some heavy bass. Stay featuring Victoria Monet, which is just your typical quintessential love song. And At Your Own Risk featuring Usher. On this track, over top of a haunting beat with rapid-fire hi-hats, Usher and T.I. let women know that hanging out with them is risky business, because if you got a man, they're going to hit it and they're not going to care. Unless your man is a killer, like T.I. spits. This is just a parking lot pimpin', after the club, trying to pull something type of track. The title track, Paperwork, is another one of the singles, and this is produced by Pharrell, and it has a really cool bluesy sound to it. On this track, T.I. details a little bit of his life. He talks about his uncle and how he wanted to be like him, how he left school, how he got into the dope game, and some other stuff that went on with him. Pharrell's singing on this song is really cool. I've just had Paperwork stuck in my head. I've been going around my house going, Paperwork! And it all ties together to make for a laid-back and very unique sound. Pharrell produced the Doe B dedication, Light 'Em Up, as well. This is a track that chronicles T.I. and Doe B's relationship, and it gets a bit chilling when T.I. raps about how he was talking to Doe B 1 minute on the phone, and then not long after that, he got the news that he was dead. On Doe, On Phil is another great dedication track, and this beat has a little bit of a 8-ball and MJG feel to it. Trey's flow on here is on point, and he pays his respects to many Texas legends including Pimp C, Hawk, Fat Pat, and DJ Screw. And on the hook, T.I. references Doe B once again, and his deceased friend, Phil. At the end of this song, he talks a little bit about when Doe B died, and this song actually precedes Light 'Em Up and leads into it, so these two songs went together nicely. There's another dedication track on here too, called Let Your Heart Go, and it features The Dream, who, at first I thought it was a woman singing. And this is probably the lowest point on the album. The beat is just too poppy and just ridiculously corny. It just doesn't really work, and it just seems like it shouldn't have been on this album. It doesn't really fit in here. Now, New National Anthem featuring Skylar Grey made me sigh at first because I thought this was just going to be a radio pop hit that was just going to be corny and just not really that great. But I was proven wrong, and I was pleasantly surprised because this is probably the most lyrical track on the album. This song touches on America's obsession with guns, racial profiling, young blacks being targeted, and a lot of other issues. This song is a nice break from the typical content and all the dope stories on this album, and it was refreshing to hear T.I.'s take on some of the stuff that's going on in the world right now, and has been going on throughout history. There are a couple of smooth ride-out jams on here too. Sugarcane has a laid-back beat with some pulsating bass, and About My Issue sounds like it could have had a zero hook and a big crit verse on there. But Victoria Monet and Nipsey Hussle work perfectly on this track. Victoria does the hook and she sounds as good as she always does, and Nipsey Hussle delivers one of the best features on this album. So that's not every song, but it's most of them, and at the end of the day, I give this one a 3.5 out of 5. It really doesn't stray much from the formula that we've come to expect from T.I., but he still has bars and stories to tell, and there's a lot of great production on here. On the downside, it's not very unique or original, and having all these features on here, like almost every track has a feature, just makes the album feel a little bit diluted. Still, when you keep in mind that this is T.I.'s 9th studio album, it's pretty impressive that he's still able to release some quality music, and I would recommend checking this album out. So that's that. Thank you for watching. Do all that good YouTube and social media stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, share, retweet, etc. Hit up Luke at redmattersite.com if you're an artist who wants their album reviewed. Maybe I can help you out with that and give you some promo. And I'll see you guys next time.